Isn't
Why
that
are all
fucking
my
crazy?
pictures Hitler?
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Co-op the Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Welch. Should I use my last name?
We've already
No.
done it. Well, I'm
your host, Jesse.
I'm not cutting any of that out. I already used my last name on accident in the last one. So, hey, what's up? It's your girl, Raven. Hopefully the mic is far enough away. I talk loud.
I've been telling her that for years.
Keep that shit to yourself, how about?
Now you have to edit it, see?
No, I don't.
So, there we go. Okay, let's move quick. Again, we're trying to be quick on our podcast because we were supposed to be quick last week. We weren't
Why
quick.
are you explaining
And we're
shit to
doing it
them?
now.
They don't care.
They care. So, announcements. What's new? What's up?
Not really new, but our Patreon is still available.
Not new, yeah. It's
Patreon.com/co-op-podcast. It's important that you go there and check it out. And then if you don't support us that way, you can support us by getting one of our t-shirts or one of our pop sockets available through Amazon on Amazon Prime. So.
Yes, and one thing I saw, and I'm not sure if it's on there yet, but we can make bumper stickers and stuff, I think, on there. So, everybody who's interested in putting us on their car,
yeah, you should.
look out for that option.
Everybody
soon.
should. Yeah.
Because it's a click, 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 easy thing to do. So, we'll figure out how to make that happen.
Yep. And then besides that, next week should probably be a pretty cool episode because we're going to get new mics and shit.
Yep.
This weekend.
We're going to do some fun stuff with that episode. We'll think of something fun to do that just helps us play with mics. I don't know. Lots of
like,
mic
am
checks.
I gonna sing?
Lots of mic
You gonna
checks.
sing?
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, our mic should be in. Our space, our recording studio has some furniture. So once the mics come in, we'll be able to officially kind of record there. Then we're going to set up some other stuff in the future. But that was enough headache for step one, getting all that wiring done. So
Step one, yeah.
yeah, so that'll be done. But yeah, okay. Anyways, next week is when that is.
Yep. But this past week, we went to the future. Now let's go to the past. Our prompt for our Jesse Palooza giveaway, where we're giving away a couple copies of Kingdom Hearts 3 and some t-shirts.
Yep, some t-shirts.
So last week's prompt was what your favorite MCU movie so far is.
Yeah.
And we got some really great answers. One of them I completely forgot. I forget.
There's so many movies.
So many, but one of them was Captain America Winter Soldier. I remember us watching it for the first and I think only time I've ever seen it, and it was on our anniversary,
in that cabin,
yeah. So, like, it's funny how things can take you back to places and memories.
And yeah, that's a good choice.
That's a good choice, I think. I like that one.
It's not my favorite of the Captain Americas, I'd have to say, though.
What, your favorite was, like, Civil War?
No, the first one. That's how he becomes Captain America. It's cool.
Sorry. I think the Captain America movies are a little boring, but I am a little bit motivated to go back and watch them again. Those and the Thor films and I guess all the Iron Man films. I talk a lot of shit about them, but I just think they're long. And
I think all three of those were really great first movies, pretty okay second movies, and then either a hit or miss third movie.
Yeah, I agree with that entirely. Because Thor Ragnarok was great. I think Civil War was okay. And then I think
that one was a hit, actually, I think, too. I think
the third Iron Man wasn't great.
Yeah, too much going on, right? And then he's like, I'm never going to be Iron Man again. But then, like, 5 days later, he's like, I'm still Iron Man, bitches.
Yeah.
Everybody's just kind of
bitch, we still here.
Yeah.
So,
but anyways,
those are really cool. And then, what did you give yours? Your favorite MCU?
I don't know that I did give mine.
Yeah, what's yours? It's your giveaway. Tell us. Tell the audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat the first Iron Man, which is just my favorite which, if I did say it last week...
I think you did say
that. I think I did say it, the first Iron Man. Yeah. But, like, other than that, I think, again, all the first films in any of the series are always good because they establish something. Yeah. And so, if I had to give, like, my second or third, it would be any of the first films.
Or fourth.
Yeah.
Or fifth. Or sixth,
That's
even.
That's not an unreasonable number.
Yeah, I still, I think I said mine. I think mine was like Thor Ragnarok and Captain Marvel.
Oh, Ant-Man too, right?
Ant-Man is good. Ant-Man and the Wasp is good.
Ant-Man and the Wasp actually is like probably it's only 1, 2 where they're both really good right now.
Oh, and I said
all
Spider-Man
the movies are good, but Ant-Man and the Wasp was really good, and Ant-Man was really good. Both were really good. So.
Let's move on to our hotcakes, and I want to briefly talk about what we are kind of doing.
Yeah, with our lives.
Yeah, because a lot of times we focus on news, so let's just talk about like the cool stuff that we're watching and doing.
There's news this week too.
No, there is. There's a ton, and we'll get to it. Yeah. Don't you worry. We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, while we were kind of recovering every night, after Emerald City Comic Con, we watched.
And we went and saw Aziz Ansari on Tuesday too.
We did.
Which is that in our hotcakes? Either way, we've been sitting at home recovering.
Yeah, we have been. But while we were recovering, specifically during Emerald City Comic Con, we watched the new season of Queer Eye, which we are huge fans of. I mean, that's probably one of my TV shows.
It's really a good show.
Yeah, because it's one of those shows, and you don't get this a lot, I think, in TV, where you just feel so good when you watch it. There's never any, like
even those makeover shows, whatever they're doing, it just feels...
It feels...
not good. I don't know.
Yeah, like there's some sort of ulterior motives, or they're doing these things for the wrong reasons and things like that. Right, or like
whatever they're addressing the issue, it's like
superficial.
These people don't live in like
almost.
A shitty house because, you know, they can't clean it, and you come in and clean it, and oh my god, everything's better.
Their life changes now.
You address the problem, or the symptoms of the problem, not the problem. The problem, yeah.
Exactly. But Queer Eye, they always kind of address the problems, basically, in their life. Exactly. And so this season was actually really interesting, though, because they have a lot more female makeovers in this season.
Is that something they got like flack on before?
I don't think so. I think that maybe they're just trying to bridge kind of, because the original Queer Eye was for the straight, was it Queer Eye for the straight guy? Yeah,
probably.
Straight guy.
And, you know, and they did a lot of men at the beginning. They did do a woman or two.
Yeah, in the first couple seasons. And I think
so maybe they're just trying to even it out.
Yeah, and now they're just trying to like kind of branch, because they realize that it's not just like their help isn't just specifically for men.
It's not about like whatever the old show was, probably like upscaling straight men to dress better or whatever. This
and
more about
be
helping
cooler
people. Regardless of who they are.
Yeah, which I think I don't remember the original series. I watched it sometimes growing up. It happened in like the early 2000s. And it was good. But I just think that the new Queer Eye and the people that are on the new Queer Eye are just...
They're all good.
They're all very helpful people, and it's nice to see somebody genuinely care for other people and want to see them succeed.
Yeah, definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix show, right?
It is a Netflix original. Show. Yep.
So, you know, the seasons come out in batches, which is nice for binging.
Yeah, exactly.
But
great for
season
binging.
3 is out, so you got 3 seasons worth of it to watch. Go
watch
check it out
if you haven't. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're coming out season 4 too. I don't know if they've announced that information.
I think that they're in Japan.
Yeah, it absolutely hasn't been canceled. It's going to keep coming out, so you can keep enjoying it. So, check it out. And you can follow the Fab Five, I think, on all their social media as well. And they're probably good people to
They're so good to
I don't engage.
So,
everybody knows.
I'll talk about it briefly. So, Jonathan Van Ness, he's very active on social media. I follow him on a lot of things. He's learning how to ice skate right now. He just came out with a book. He has a podcast called, I think it's called Getting Curious. And then he has like an online show. It's basically he gives people haircuts and then he explains the last episode of Game of Thrones. It's so good. It's really funny. I just can't remember it right now. But I'll post links when we post
and you should, because they're probably worth following.
For sure. And then...
top of that.
Yeah, what else are we watching right now?
I'm rewatching Mad Men.
Yes.
And you're jumping in.
I'm jumping in here and there, yeah.
Which, you know, I know it's like people don't like the show because, like, I mean, the 50s and 60s were a misogynist time.
It wasn't great for women.
The show's really about female. Oh, yeah, they just did a blackface scene.
Oh,
no! Yeah, it was funny. It's funny because you're like,
oh, that's so bad. Yeah.
You're like, this is 1962. I mean,
there are people that are still alive in the world that lived through that.
There were people who were like going down to Mississippi to stand arm in arm and like fight, and then the other guy's doing blackface. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Mad Men though, it's a good show though, I think, and it's over, so I never really watched the end. So I'm gonna go back and try and
I've never seen the end.
Around wherever I am now is kind of where I left off, right? Like they're going through their things. So I really don't know what happens to everybody and where it goes.
It's still surprises.
So, rewatching that while at the same time we rewatch One Piece. We never finished Fairy Tail.
We did not. I mean, but we finished it, but we haven't finished that rewatch. The arc that we're on right now is just it's not the most interesting.
The one where they go to, I can't even remember the world that Happy's from and Carla's from.
Oh fuck, I forgot we were on that one. It's the last arc that I thought was boring, and now we're on this new one.
I don't like this arc. It's boring. It's like the one where like they're in a world with no magic and they can't really use their magic.
Oh, and, you're right. It's just not, I mean, but we switched to One Piece, which if you don't know what One Piece is, it's an anime that's based on...
Everybody knows what One Piece
pirates.
is. Yeah, it's based on pirates.
Ryan didn't know. We have friends that didn't know.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It's like the longest running anime.
Oh, it's got to be by now, yeah. I don't know if it actually is, because like, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z, some of those.
I feel like those are different... it's like the longest running like single standing anime,
right?
Whereas like there's Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
What I'm saying is it could be on the borderline between Dragon Ball Z and it. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But it definitely has been going for a long time. I mean, I'm
sure someone will tell us too.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother yesterday about the latest manga that came out for it, and we were like, when did all that like stuff with Big Mom happen? He's like, it feels like it was yesterday. It was like a year and a half ago.
Oh shit!
And you read it like 19 pages at a time as it comes out, and you're like, oh fuck, like it's going really fucking slow.
Yeah.
I've been reading it since high school.
Yeah.
So
that's a long ass time for those people out there that don't know.
It's a long time. It's like 10 years I've been chugging along on this series, and it just keeps coming out. So, and it's good. It's really, really good. Pirates, cool anime powers, cool anime dynamics,
Tony Chopper, little reindeer guy.
They got all the tropes in every form. Tropes. Big titty girls, anime girls,
Big women, big old women that are obvious villains.
Yep. Yeah. So, definitely
weird
really
fish
cool.
people.
We're rewatching that though. We always do this where we kind of stop after a certain arc. So I think we're into a new arc that Raven hasn't seen before.
Yeah, I haven't seen this arc.
Yeah.
Where they're in can I say?
Yeah, they're in the
they're Skytopia. Yeah, I mean
Skypia,
sorry.
Yeah, the Sky Island. Yeah, it's not
Skytopia.
Yeah. They go to the Sky Island, we're in the Sky Island.
They run in from
arc. I think previously we stopped watching after Crocodile, so
yes,
we moving on to that. So then and there's a lot more to get us caught up to where it is now, because like the Big Mom stuff, like I was talking about, that I was reading like a year or so ago, is now in the anime. Right?
Yeah, so that'll
we
be
can get
cool.
all the way caught up to like kind of that part, and I'll have to wait several years for the rest of it to come out. Yeah. But by the time we get caught up on One Piece, we can go back to Fairy Tail and watch that probably all the way through to the end, because that's coming out right now.
That's true.
And then we can pick up then we have tons more to watch.
We still have to watch, finish Seven Deadly Sins and...
But yeah, these are pretty easy ones where, One Piece is so long running, you don't really have to pay attention to every single detail.
No, I fall asleep almost every 4 or 5 episodes.
The Skypia arc that we're in the current stuff, nobody mentions it. Nope. Nothing happened that was important in this arc.
I think the
that's
only
really
problem...
relevant besides they grow as people,
Yeah.
And it's
funny, and you learn more about the characters' character development.
Powers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So.
I think the main thing about One Piece that is kind of a problem with us is, of course, we're listening to it, we're watching it in Japanese, so if you're just watching it in English, if they have it in English, I'm not sure if it's dubbed. Then you could just go about your day. You could continue to do other stuff. They probably only have it
to a point, though, because now that I think about it, the ones we're looking at, we're watching on Hulu, by the way. Hulu has a wide selection of anime, so
the widest.
Well, I think Crunchyroll has an app, and you can watch on that, right? So technically, no. But versus Netflix versus Amazon, Hulu tends to have more. But I don't think they have dubbed past season 2.
Oh. Okay, well, watch it in Japanese, fuckers.
Yeah. So, and maybe they just eliminated that option because they just learned that we're only going to do the sub, and rather than show us
That's
both,
a good point. Which I did not know that Netflix changes like your photos on your like your menu and stuff based on your personality. So if you look at Friends and you see a certain character, that's who they basically think that you'll relate to the most and want to watch the show. Isn't
Why
that
are all
fucking
my
crazy?
pictures Hitler?
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think mine's Phoebe.
I don't know what mine is. I'd have to.
I think yours is Chandler.
I think mine might be all of them.
I think yours is Chandler.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
Chandler
when I
and
look at
Joey.
it, though, like the last time I saw it, it was like all of them on the couch sort of deal, you know, like
Maybe, yeah. Well, we should go through all of our Netflix stuff.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see some of the other series. Like, do they do that with everything, or do they do that with like
they do it
big
with everything?
stuff, right?
I think.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, The Office. I know I get Michael Scott.
Hey, that's nice. I think it's recommended for me, and I think it's Dwight.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see when we do that. But
we'll do that. We'll announce it.
But yeah, so that's kind of what we're watching, recapping on, just for
shits and giggles.
Mind-numbing background noise.
Yeah, and I'm reading right now, so I decided to get into a couple more comic books. Being at Emerald City Comic Con for some reason inspired me to pick back up Tank Girl, which is a comic book.
We saw it was weird. Well, it's not weird. They were pushing for, what was their theme? Was like super heroine.
Yes.
Right. It was like the theme.
Strong
I don't know if that was the
heroine character
thing, but yeah, strong female character.
That was a lot of panels and whatnot.
So there was a lot of Tank Girl stuff. I think was brought to the front.
There wasn't really like I didn't see any, but like. I didn't see any at all, but it just kind of reminded me of Tank Girl.
You pointed it out to me at least twice. You're like, hey, some Tank Girl stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Subliminal messaging, man.
Maybe.
But it was like at the front of a few artists did some stuff, and it was at the front of a few
It was one artist, and Artist Alley had some Tank Girl art. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So for sure, it was brought to the front, along with all the other great like female characters were definitely represented left and right.
So I'm reading Tank Girl. Yeah, if you don't know what it is, it's a comic book from the late 80s, early 90s, eventually turned into a movie, which did not do well, but it's a cult classic now.
I was going to say, it was a cult classic from the beginning.
I remembered watching it.
On Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
All the time. Reruns on Sci-Fi all the time, just like all those other movies that didn't do well,
But now they have like a cult following and like people like me and Jesse here. And so Tank Girl was one of those for me, even though I didn't really read the comic books growing up. I really liked Tank Girl. And so I'm reading the comic books now. It's great. Based on, basically it's based in Australia in kind of a post-apocalyptic world-ish with these kangaroos that are bad guys, like Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah.
What's that movie that you really like? About the kangaroos that you watched when you were a kid?
I don't remember, but I look it up all the time, and I just can't remember right now. But there's like 5 kangaroo ninja dudes that represent the elements. Some kid falls in some like sewer drainage pipe, and he lands up in this world where kangaroo ninjas are.
Same universe, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Is what basically.
Besides, if she were fighting those kangaroos, she would lose. They got superpowers.
Well, she has a tank, so.
Yeah, they can control the elements with their ninjutsu.
That's weird.
I don't know.
That's weird. So
it'd be great to do a cosplay like that. I think we talked about that at ECCC because furry technology has gotten so advanced. Yes. You could get a great kangaroo costume. I bet.
Yeah. The furries have the
dress up as a ninja kangaroo.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's one that didn't talk, so you could just be that one
and not say anything.
Not say anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tank Girl, I think it's a really fun comic book to read.
The art's good. Yeah, it's kind of
fun. It's pretty short too.
The style of the art is like I don't know how to classify the styles, but it's like unique. Like
it's kind of like grungy,
like Academy, that sort of style that they do in a lot of graphic novels. That sort of counter.
Yeah, it's not beautiful art and not like clean lines and well filled in.
Like comics have a certain sort of style.
Yeah, right? It's also very 90s to me.
Off of it. Yeah.
It's a very 90s style comic book and a very 90s like theme to where it's like a woman who's also kind of badass and grungy, which I mean that time was a very androgynous time, and obviously grunge was really big. And then it was post-apocalyptic, so we're coming off of like Mad Max and stuff like that, like those kind of ideas in movies and film. But the
movies, films, cinema,
Nickelodeons, yeah, exactly.
All of them.
All of them, include them all. So yeah, I like Tank Girl. I think that there might be some stuff that people don't like in it. I mean, it's the 90s. I know it's not that long ago, but we didn't know back then. And now that you're coming at it, you can get it from another angle. But it's cool.
Yeah,
it's good.
And we'll confess that we did get our copy for free because we complained to Amazon.
I did not.
It did not show up.
I paid $2.99 for the Kindle version, so I paid $2.99.
Yeah.
Why you gotta say this on the podcast?
I know Amazon's gonna come after us.
They're gonna
for
come
the
after
hard
us.
copy, but we did find our hard copy lost in the Amazon locker because of the Amazon delivery people, which we talk about before.
We talk about
Get
all the time.
Rid of them.
Yeah.
Amazon,
I complained to someone at Amazon, and I'm like, I just want to get my packages. I don't care if you refund me money.
And the thing is when it says it's delivered and we can't find it, it's lost.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter that they put it in the locker technically under a wrong name, because that makes sense.
It said they had handed it off to someone at reception.
That's how
like
they
2 days ago. And then today, or yesterday, we got an email in a locker.
No, we didn't get the email about the locker until today. You just found out that we might have one in the locker, and we went over there and entered a random code. I got the notifications that it was delivered and everything today.
No, I got those. I got an email about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
anyways.
Yeah, so what is new in media today?
Yes, so this week we got a Stranger Things 3 trailer. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
this is now the second trailer? Or actually,
this is the first. Yeah, we just got the poster and stuff for it last time. So now we actually have a trailer. And a lot of things are going on in this trailer. So first of all, we have, I believe, Dustin's returning from summer camp and his friends meet him there, and we get to see all of that, and that's a really cute, wholesome moment where you kind of remember that they're kids, quote unquote, but then the whole theme of this trailer is we're not kids anymore, we're teenagers. Yeah.
Right, like they always do that at the beginning, like, hey, we're just normal kids trying to have a good time, blah, blah, blah. We still do normal kid things. Mm-hmm. And then they'll kind of lead it into, boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
They're going to change.
Exactly. And so that's kind of the overall theme. Like, we're getting some really cool girl time in the trailer between Max and Eleven, which I obviously really love. Cool. Because I think it's really great that Eleven's finally going to get a female
What is
friend.
Her living situation, technically? Does she live with...
I think she might be living with... still like Harper? Jim Hopper? Yeah. Who also, so David Harbour has a CGI'd mustache in the trailer because he could not have a mustache for Hellboy. So it had a CGI mustache on him.
I think they just filmed the trailer before. I guess not. But...
No. Well, I mean, could they have just filmed the trailer? This is all scenes from the show.
I'm just saying, couldn't they have, filmed his parts with mustache before? They probably could have worked it out.
I don't think so.
But, whatever, yeah. It seems like, how much does that cost?
How long does it take for you to grow a mustache? Polling the masses.
I mean, it depends, but, yeah. They could also just glue hair, right?
It's true. But they CGI'd it. And it probably didn't cost that much. They probably had it included.
Well, they probably had it in the contract. They made the Hellboy people pay for it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want it, so they probably made them pay for it. And that's when they were probably like, well, let's just make them pay for CGI.
Yeah. I mean, big studio, where we're at.
It's not their problem.
Yep. We're seeing all of our favorite characters. Steve is in this one again. He looks like he's in trouble. Eventually kind of looks like he's being captured by something.
Do they identify who, the main target is in this one? Who's the one that's going to have the brush with the monster? Because it's always kind of different. So right?
In the trailer, you see Billy Hargrove, which is Max's brother, the one with the mullet. Mm-hmm. He is in a shower, and he looks like he has something on his arm that's forming. So, I mean, that's a pretty big That's probably him. And then at the end of the trailer, we get to see the monster. Looks like it's encountering Nancy and Jonathan. You see Jonathan in the trailer, but I'm guessing that they're going to be together. I mean, and so remember in the episode where we talked about Stranger Things, we talked about, okay, what's the monster going to be? People were guessing that it was going to be a beholder potentially, or something like that, something big like that. That's obviously not a beholder. That creature looks like a drider. And driders are formed from drow. Right. They transform from drow.
And I'm looking at it too, and they were talking about like it's in a hospital, and like so. And he had the mark. That one dude had the mark on him.
And he probably went to the hospital. That's probably him.
Right. And it either came out of him or fused with him, and so then they have to like figure out how to like, you know.
I mean, there is a spot, so in the trailer where you see Steve, I don't think that they would kill Steve. I don't think that they would do that to us, because we went from hating him to loving him to
what are they going to do
kill
this
him.
Season, then? This is the prime opportunity for them to kill a main character.
No, they would never kill Steve.
I'm just saying, killing a main character like you don't give a fuck and the story keeps going on is one of the best like.
Okay, George R.R. Martin, calm down. Yeah. No, I don't think that it's Steve that turns into the Drider, but it does look like Steve in the trailer is being put. Something's getting put in him.
Sure. Yeah.
In the trailer, so we don't know what it is. We're excited about it.
What we're probably dealing with at least is an infection of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like an infection, which is kind of how Driders work.
With the fair, right?
Yeah, it's the 4th of July.
A bunch of people. And like so maybe it's like they're gonna all get infected.
In the trailer, there are random women, I think, throughout the thing. And that might go back to the drow. But so random women that look very stone-faced at the festival. So inhumanly stone-faced. So that it could be exactly what you're saying, like. And it could be like an infection kind of thing. I know it could work through, and I know this sounds weird, but I don't exactly remember how Driders are created, but I know in a drow society it's mostly female because of Lolth, so maybe they're the carriers and...
Right. I don't know that Drider is going to be the thing. I think there's other things that like can infect people and take over in D&D that it could be, right?
I know,
other monsters that might.
But we've been speculating that it's a Drider, and it just happens to look exactly like a Drider. I mean, I think it looks like a Drider.
Exactly, but like the other
none of them look like any of the others.
You still see the drow person. You don't see the person in that, right? Like,
I mean, we don't right now,
and we actually don't know.
But
that
it could be
is
like
over a body. It could be something that comes out of a body.
Yeah, it could also be a Avengers Endgame situation where the trailer doesn't fucking matter because those aren't real scenes from the goddamn movie. Ignore our last episode completely because they fucked us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good segue then into how do they fuck us? What do we know about Endgame?
Nothing. We don't know anything. They just said
Where
that.
Where are those scenes from?
No, they said that those scenes, a lot of them weren't real. They just put them into the trailer to throw everybody off of what it was. And it's like in the last one, they did that before too, because there were scenes of the Hulk, remember?
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
No, and there were scenes of the Hulk, and it was gone. Like, those
scenes
didn't end up in the movie.
Made up scenes. So maybe they're just trying to say, like, some of those people aren't in there, or they're different people. Or...
No, I think it's just, they put scenes in there that aren't in the movie. That's it. So I
don't know.
Try to guess.
Yeah.
And then let's move on. Stranger Things 3 coming out in July. So
yep, and that'll drop all at once too, right? Like
yes, it will, and we will 100%.
We'll talk about it then, and we'll talk about it going up to it too. Because I'm sure there'll be more trailers and there'll be more information.
Yeah, maybe we'll rewatch Stranger Things and have a conversation
because
I don't remember all of it.
Stranger Things 1.
No, it's not great.
No, I'm not saying it's not great. I'm just like...
Oh, your memory of it.
Yeah, you tell me what happened.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Bunch of fucking weirdo kids doing some weirdo stuff. Got some weirdo demon stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. That sounds like Sabrina the Teenage... Or the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
It could be. But yeah, anyway, so what else did we see? Because I know we have a few others to talk about.
Yep. Keanu Reeves and...
Which is like, they're really old.
Yes, they are. They definitely are.
Yeah, but Bill and Ted.
Yep, and Alex Winter. So Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter announced this week that they're going to start filming. Bill and Ted 3, Face the Music, is coming out August 21st, 2020. And so that's exciting. I always love to see Keanu Reeves in roles.
Well,
I like
it
when he's
a really
happy.
Good actor, yeah, and he's always doing cool stuff, and you know it'll be good. Did you ever watch Bill and Ted 1 and 2? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say like I watched them on TV when I was young.
Yes, I obviously did not see them in theaters because the second one came out before I was born.
They probably weren't even like doing TV runs past like 95, 96. You know, like they weren't popular for very long. Kind of maybe like more like Tank Girl, right? Cult following. We're talking. But yeah, so, you know, definitely it's cool that they're going to get back together and do it because I think people have been asking for it for a long time, right?
Yeah.
I remember they talked about it like a long time ago. They were like, oh yeah, there might be like a Bill and Ted's Third Adventure could come out. That was in like 10 years ago.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I remember hearing any of that. I think this is one of your, like, Space Jam situations where you used to go around telling people, oh, yeah, they're coming out with another Bill and Ted 3.
Right. Space Jam, I lied to everybody.
I know, you talked about it.
Ever.
Yeah.
Everybody would always believe you because everybody wants it to be true.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because you're like...
This is happening.
Yeah.
But now it's happening.
Not the same way. Yeah, it's happening. Well, Space Jam 2 is happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, supposedly. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, this will be a cool one too, for sure. And like, I'm excited to check it out. I think you can check out the announcement and Keanu got together with
Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves got together on Bill and Ted 3, the Twitter.
Is that their handle? Bill and Ted 3?
No, at Bill and Ted 3. Yes,
yeah,
you're right.
At Bill and Ted 3.
And you can watch the announcement where they're basically just saying thank you and stuff, and it's so nice. I love seeing Keanu Reeves come out closer. Yep. But more news in Keanu Reeves land. John Wick 3, the new trailer came out today or yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is going to be good too. So the thing
we love John Wick.
It's all super good. And from what I heard, the only reason Keanu did it was to work with who are the
Lawrence Fishburne and Trinity.
Yeah,
fuck, I can't remember.
He wanted to work with them again, so he was looking for ways to get them into the films, and like it didn't work out for the first one. They were both busy with some other stuff, so he just went ahead with the movie, and it went well. And he was like, okay, well, you want to come in now? And like Lawrence Fishburne made some room in his schedule and was in the second one, and then Trinity's in this one, right?
Yeah, she's in this one. I think
is.
All of them are in this one, right?
Well, yeah, Lawrence Fishburne might make a reappearance. I don't know.
I think they're all going to be in this one. So
yeah, which is great because like he really just wanted to work with his friends again and do something fun and cool, and he made this great stuff.
Keanu Reeves is the best human being.
Yeah, one of for sure. Yeah, one of the best for sure.
He's so nice.
But yeah, so I'm excited about that one, and that'll be super good. I know the third one is supposed to be the last one too. So
I think so. Yeah.
I always like that when they actually put an end to something.
Yeah, Jesse hates it when people make
what were we
things.
talking about the other day? Oh, Schitt's Creek.
Oh, Schitt's Creek is coming to an end too.
Also, I heard this, and maybe not everybody knows this yet. Supernatural season 15 is the last season of Supernatural.
Yes.
It will not make any
more. R.I.P. It's gone too soon.
Fucking God.
No. We like Supernatural people.
Seasons is way too long. And there was like a point at season 6, 7, I don't remember, where you're like, this hit a climax. And then they kept going.
The world has ended. They've beaten the four horsemen of the apocalypse. God, I think they beat God at one point. They beat, quote unquote.
Right,
I don't remember. And it's like, all right, that's enough. I think it would have been cool. I haven't gotten caught up on Supernatural in a really long time, but I think it would have been really cool is after they do all that really hard stuff, they go back to like having to fight like really stupid things. Like they find pixies and they have to like hunt down pixies.
Well, they would do that every once in a while. It'd be like, oh, they got trapped in a hotel that's abandoned and run by zombies or something, and they have to deal with the zombies. And you're like, really? You guys just killed Satan. And you know, this is an episode? But yeah, so into kind of more of the body of it all, which we've danced around and stuff like that through this episode, and we're ready to jump in, was kind of what we did at Emerald City Comic Con, right? Yeah. It was fun.
It was fun.
It was, we didn't go Thursday because we had some conflicts coming up. I was
which we
traveling,
talked about.
But we were there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
We got to do a ton of stuff. It was exhausting, that's for sure.
There was a lot.
It's huge. It's spread out over the convention center in Seattle. Then there's like kind of a couple satellite buildings, and then
a couple of hotels.
A hotel, or two.
Yeah.
In this one with like some lobbies and big main stages and stuff like that. So highlights. What would you say was like one of your highlights for Emerald City?
Critical Role. I went to the Critical Role panel. We had to get there.
It was crazy.
2 hours early
to stand in line, and like we got pretty good seats, and we were like pretty decently in line with people were getting turned away for sure.
Like an hour before it even started.
When did we actually get in the room? Must have been like
at 9-ish.
Yeah, so like
9:40, 9:30
maybe like an hour and 15, hour and a half before it started. And I mean, it was like 5-10 minutes after we sat down that they were like, okay, we're at capacity.
Yeah, we got a message from the app that was like, Critical Role panel at capacity. I'm like,
I was afraid to get up and go like take a piss because it's like somebody's gonna come steal my seat, right? Yep,
exactly.
But yeah, it was really good. The Critical Role thing was really good.
It was really fun. There's always like and I feel really bad for feeling this way. But when you're on a panel and they're taking questions from the audience, I sometimes wish that wasn't the case because it's like we've waited 2 hours, to listen to them speak. And sometimes it ends up being people gushing, which is totally acceptable. But I feel like in those situations...
It was about 50% gushing, though.
Yeah. In those situations, though, maybe go purchase an autograph or go meet them in those areas.
They were doing like a
autographs for multiple days and the sci-fi panel and stuff. So get a chance to actually meet them instead of taking away from other people's experience.
It would have been nice if it was more of like a formalized interview. I think we would have gotten more out of it.
Oh yeah, Brian W. Foster had just like started asking, made it like a Talks Machina kind of
live Talks Machina. That would have been pretty cool. Yeah,
it would have been cool.
It was definitely cool to see everybody there on stage all in the same place. Because of course last year we saw
Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham, and we went to a voice actor panel for them.
They were on, and it was really good. Yeah,
I love that.
Which actually that was one of my biggest regrets about Emerald City is that we missed Twisted Tunes, which is like this cool thing where they read a script from like an old movie.
All these voice actors
doing their sort of characters and other characters, and it's pretty
celebrity fun. Impersonations and
Last year it wasn't so packed. Apparently the word got out that it was pretty fun. Maybe they heard it here. I don't know if we talked about it, but they probably did.
They obviously, everybody listens to this podcast.
To us. I mean, we gave away all our shirts, so
we did.
People are listening now.
Yeah.
But they filled up Twisted Tunes super quick, so we were lollygagging and we didn't make it in, which was a huge bummer for me. But
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll take you to another con.
The highlight for me, though, we did get to see Rainn Wilson. We got our picture taken and everything.
We sure did. We got to take it twice.
We got to take it twice because I blinked.
Because he blinked.
Yeah. Just to spend more time with Rainn Wilson.
Yeah,
it was
you
a grand total of 10 seconds. We had a great time.
Yeah. That was kind of... nobody ever talks about the photos. Like, what happens. I've never heard people talk about that. I thought we'd have more of a moment.
And it's always like, well, it's quick, right? You don't get to do much. You can like ask them to hold something or make a certain pose. So you got enough time to kind of interact and then take the picture.
I feel like we didn't with Rainn Wilson.
If we had walked up there and said, hey, could you do this? Like we could have bought ourselves some more time.
Yeah, that's true.
But you don't have time to say, oh man, I really love your work. What are you working on now? Like, tell me more about yourself. You don't have that sort of time.
Yeah.
Unless you buy like a one-on-one experience, which... that doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't. And like, so here's the way that I feel about these like bot experiences with actors and whatnot. It's like, is it really what people want? Is that really what, and some people may really want that, but I would love a genuine experience with somebody rather than an autograph or a picture with somebody. Like,
sure,
the only other pictures I have are pictures with like family and friends, and then you have basically a stranger who has no idea who you are, and now there's a picture of you guys together somewhere.
Yep, and that's exactly how it is. But it was fun. We got to see him in person.
You got to you and Richard wore matching shirts.
Yeah, we wore matching shirts that have white all over them.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And,
it's a cool shirt.
Yeah, we got to meet Rainn Wilson. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a highlight. Other than that, we were in and out of lots of panels all over the shop floor.
We went to 501st Stormtrooper costume or cosplay panel.
That one was pretty good. It
pretty interesting.
Surprising to me that they basically just order their armor in kits. I thought they made it more from scratch, but that makes sense why they're all more standardized than you would think.
And I think they have to be standardized
right,
too.
The way it's organized makes way more sense that way. So. So definitely something that's really interesting.
That one was pretty cool.
Armor, right?
And then I got when we were on the shop floor, we got a couple of really cool things. I was really into pins this year, so I got a couple pins. One that's got a Velociraptor on it and says "Clever Girl." Yeah,
there was lots of cool stuff on the shop floor. We got some candy, shaped like stuff.
We got maybe too much candy.
What is their name? Because we should remember that. Because they're literally there all the time. We should promote them. They make really cool stuff. Like the one that I secretly ate, the one we bought for our friends too, and ours. The Pokeball had a Pokemon inside, right?
Yeah.
It's a white chocolate ball with a little Pokemon candy inside.
Yeah.
That's cool as shit.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
I bet somebody out there knows what we're talking about. It's a candy shop.
And they had dragon eggs, which we should have gotten a dragon egg.
We should have gotten a dragon egg. I felt like it was going to be really expensive.
I didn't want to carry it around either. Yeah. Maybe we can find them and order it online. And we'll take a video of us opening
we
up
could
the
do
dragon
it.
egg.
Ooh, we should do it really soon so we can have it by the time Game of Thrones comes on.
All right, so somebody tell us that.
Yes, tell us as soon as possible. We could probably look it up on the website too.
We'll try and figure it out.
I got a really cool thing from the Rook and the Raven. If you don't know who they are, they create Dungeons and Dragons journals, for players and for DMs. And I got some of that, and Jesse was obsessed with it because it's...
Well, they do a cool thing with these rings. So they have these rings, and the paper goes on it. So you can take the paper off, but then you put the paper back on. So it's like a notebook. You can tear a piece of paper out.
Yep.
And just put it right back
put it right back on. Yeah. And Jesse was only interested in that.
I was not interested in the journal itself. Yeah. I was interested in the rings and how they work. Using them for other stuff.
Yeah. Well, I got a super cool con edition that has a dragon on the inside. It's really cool. We definitely recommend if you play Dungeons and Dragons, check out the Rook and the Raven.
Right? They help you organize all your player notes and everything like that. So which is most of us are just using a notepad, right? And we're just taking down notes, and there's no organization, and there's little
This one has a place to put session notes versus character sheets and inventory.
And with the way the rings work, you could
take it out.
Say you run into some information that's relevant to something you learned in the past, you can write it down and stick it in the relevant category. So,
exactly.
Definitely cool. Definitely cool for sure.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things that I got from Emerald City Comic Con, and then I got some dice.
Shirts. We always get shirts while
Plus
we're there.
Ultra shirt I got.
Yeah, which we did wear once our other shirts got smelly. Our co-op shirts got smelly. We had to change into Emerald City shirts.
Yeah, we wore Emerald City Comic Con shirts, which were very, very nice, but people thought we worked at the con.
They did think that at least a couple times. So,
it's
no. We just wear the same shirts that you guys could buy.
Yay.
Definitely looks different than the con shirts.
Yeah.
So,
the Minion shirts.
Yeah. It was super cool. We bought a lot of stuff.
We were on the floor a lot. We have a ton of cards.
There's a lot of stuff.
We got these really cool candles. These are Harry Potter scented or Harry Potter themed. It's from Nerd Wood and Wax. They're from Portland. And they smell so good, and they burn really slowly, which is really nice for candles. And then a lot of the other stuff they have is a dice box that was in the shape of the handbook for the recently deceased from Beetlejuice.
Speaking of dice boxes, there were quite a few vendors with dice boxes, and there was that one that they make a little travel dice box. Again, we got all these cards so we could remember these people because they were sold out of. They have a day glow version, and they were sold out. We really wanted the day glow. But I can't remember. It was a collapsible little dice tower, dice rolling tray. storage box. It could hold a mini. It had a little like board you could write on and dry erase marker for your stats and stuff like that. Really cool idea. Really reasonably priced. Helpful if you go play D&D at a friend's house or out in a bar or tavern or something like that. Super awesome. Raven's looking for the card. She's not going to find it, so let's move on. But yeah, that was one dice box option we saw. There are a couple others too. Lots of people are making things like that. Of course, Level Up Dice was there, which I don't know if we've gotten on to a grandstand about them yet, but I think that we are fans enough of Level Up Dice that I'm going to say we're not going to buy other dice. And I'm going to say that so that Raven stops buying other dice.
Bitch!
Because we don't need to buy crappy dice anymore, because Level Up makes the best dice.
It's really nice dice.
Yeah, they're based in Georgia, which we like.
We're always here for local Georgia stuff.
Yep, I think they might even be based in my hometown. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm about 99% certain that they are. Everything they make is super high quality. Now, get prepared for sticker shock if you're the type of person that goes out and buys like $10 dice.
Yep.
You're not going to enjoy having to pay $159 for a set of dice, but literally the best dice I've ever rolled. I don't know. I'm not going to use any others. Raven got these really cool caged ones, which are a little less accurate, but super cool nonetheless.
They're very pretty and very expensive.
My dice that I got from Level Up are aluminum, Nightwing colored, super cool. Definitely check them out. Level Up, they were there. They were there in force this year too. Like last year, they had a much smaller booth. This year, they blew up.
It was huge.
Way more professional looking. It was amazing.
I can't find that card.
Who else was? What was the people with the gaming table? And
that's Wormwood.
Wormwood's always there as well, and they also stepped up their game this year with a gaming table that is really, really cool. Probably ungodly expensive. We haven't actually looked.
We haven't looked, but Jesse said that I could get it.
Well, we need a new dining room table, and like the thing about it is it had the cover, so it could like be a dining room table, and then you take it off and you could crank up. It was a really cool thing.
Yeah, Jesse loved the crank. The bottom of the table
comes up, so it could either be down set so you can roll dice without it going off, or you can crank it up for a little easier access. And very cool. Had all the spots for all the things, but they make stuff out of wood. They make dice towers, dice trays,
card boxes. They had a really cool Magic the Gathering kind of set with all the
colors.
Yeah, with all the color symbols.
If you go online, you could probably get it like stamped half and half. So if you had like a red blue deck.
Ooh, Jesse, that'd be so cool. Can I buy it?
You probably customize it, right? Well, we have to get back to Magic the Gathering, which we're not.
Yeah, that's right. We don't have the money for Magic the Gathering.
It just comes in waves, and then you just gotta let it go to the side every once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was stuff to buy. More stuff to buy.
Maybe what we'll do, we'll eventually kind of get back to making a list of like, hey, check out these vendors that we really liked at Emerald City Comic Con. Since
we should do it on our website. We should have like a little section of these vendors we like. We choose these. If we're going for dice, we choose Level Up. If we're going for cool little dice trays and stuff, we choose Wormwood. Yeah.
Maybe I'll make a blog post of all the places that we recommend, really cool artists that we saw while we were there. And then we can
reach out to those companies and say, hey, look, you're on our website.
Hey, give us money. No, we won't do that.
Send us some stuff.
Yeah, you know who you should always check out and give your money and patronage to? Ash Brielle at Unagi_A. She's our artist, and we love her so much.
Yep, and we definitely would love to see her art represented in Artist Alley next year.
And they're in Quebec. I'd love for her to get like super, super, super successful and then come out to Seattle and hang out with us. Yeah.
But yeah, we saw a lot of cool artists in Artist Alley. Lots of famous artists, as you would expect. Did anybody stand out to you this year? Was there anybody that we were like really excited to see or anything like that?
You know what really sucks? I'm gonna say is. We did not get to spend enough time in Artist Alley.
Again, and I think it's because huge.
It was so huge and there was just not enough space to move. And I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I'm betting they do. But when you're around so many people like that to where it's hot and people are touching you and like you don't want them to touch you and you're just you want to look at stuff but you're still also trying to bring yourself in. It makes it very hard to enjoy a con. It needs more space, I think.
I saw a few artists for sure that I kind of liked, but I was getting that same feeling.
I got a ton of cards.
Let's move on, right? I'm like not interested in I wasn't gonna purchase any prints. I'm not the type of person to want to purchase. We did
purchase some prints.
We purchased some, but I'm not the type of person to want to purchase prints of what I like. Even though what I like is like there's a couple people that did some cool Gundam art, right? Some of that was really cool. Or I saw some cool art for animes that I enjoy and things like that. I was like, those are cool interpretations. The art had a specific style.
A lot of it was very cutesy and stuff.
Yeah, I like some like dark, hard lines. Like that style where like the Gundam's ripped open in half and you can see some of the internal bits and it's all drippy and like kind of black and like a single other color. That was really cool to me. There are very few people doing that this year though.
Yeah. I want to say also like I'm kind of comparing the quality of stuff to other cons, but like Dragon Con, they actually have like a gallery almost where you can get higher quality art versus it was a lot of prints, and that's super nice, and we got some, but I would have liked to have seen a better variety of higher quality art
maybe
versus just
originals that you could purchase
instead of just a couple like things people printed off. And we always support artists, but that's just something maybe Emerald City Comic Con can do in conjunction with those artists.
An auction house.
And they would make so much money. And they did do an auction for charity, but I think it was a bit different.
Yeah.
And then, so that plus the vendor area with all the people selling goods and stuff, it was a lot of shirts. That was basically almost all that I saw was a lot of shirts.
There was also the one that we did forget to mention that was new and kind of cool was the lightsaber thing, though.
Ooh, lightsabers.
The lightsaber people where you could like customize your lightsaber. Totally worth going online and getting exactly what you want. I'm not sure if they can do it all there, but...
it would suck to walk around with a lightsaber.
There were so many people walking around with lightsabers, though. Yeah. Lots of people bought them. It was pretty cool. They make noise, they light up.
Yep.
Exactly what you expect.
Yep.
But let's wrap up the Emerald City Comic Con thing and actually keep this short if we can by wrapping it the same way that Emerald City Comic Con
wraps basically for us.
Talk about the championship,
the Western Championship of Cosplay, which was Saturday night, and basically it's I wouldn't say that they're amateur cosplay artists, but some of them did seem to be pretty new and they were doing great. Yeah,
to some degree, right? Like they're professional to the degree that they put a lot of time and energy into it. It's not just, oh, hey, I'm going to go cosplay as this and it's going to be fun. They're like probably crying and agonizing and like, it's like your day job. You don't have fun doing it.
No. But it's like they make the majority of their costume.
You have to make all of it, which I have some gossip.
Ooh, what's your gossip?
So let's talk first about, we'll get to it because it's in the first category. So it's broken down into categories. Armor was one of the categories. Needlework was one of the categories.
And then FX
was the other one. And then they pick, the top 3 people win. But the armor category, there were several people that did a good job. Like the dude who did the Dragonborn. It was good work. I think he didn't sell it enough.
Dragonborn from Skyrim.
From Skyrim, yeah. The one on here that I know the gossip about is the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
It looked really, really good.
Oh my gosh, it looked amazing.
Didn't place in the top 3.
No.
Reason is, mask was store-bought.
Was it a mask? It looks like it's like...
he was wearing a mask, yeah.
It looked like it was like silicone and like it like affects makeup. Yeah.
Either way, it was store-bought is the rumor, so that's why he was not considered for
Really?
Yeah.
That just seems so crazy.
Because it was really good, and the person in the costume was
He was really good at playing Green Goblin.
Yeah, it was really good. Store-bought mask. So I think part of the rules is probably that you have to have, everything has to be handmade.
So probably if it's a store-bought mask, that is like a goblin mask. If he had done his own makeup
to it or whatever, maybe that would have counted, but I think he just bought a Green Goblin mask.
And put it on his face.
And used that. And they built the rest of the costume around it. The rest of the costume was amazing.
Great. It was all made out of leather and different leathers and whatnot. And he like deconstructed like purses and stuff like that to create the leather armor. And it was amazing. So I feel really bad that he couldn't make it through. But the one that actually won was a girl who built a suit that looks like Viserion.
That was like second place, I think.
Yes. It was, it was second, I believe.
Yeah.
So she won second, and basically it's Viserion from Game of Thrones. It's the dragon. Like,
was she in the armor category?
Yeah, she was in the armor category. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was. Her cosplay was amazing. I mean,
it was interesting.
It was weirdly proportioned because it's a girl that's my height.
Right. If I had to say, I don't think that one should have placed.
I thought I thought
there
the
were
details
much
on
better cosplays
in that category.
The top category, they don't pick one from each category to win. They pick the top 3 overall.
Well, I mean, I guess we can say right now, like, the armor category was a little lackluster.
It was a little lackluster, yeah.
There were people in the category that I don't think should have been in the category.
Right. And, like, I think maybe Viserion won because, like, it was different. But I don't think different is always necessarily good. But also, we don't see them up close. That was one thing the judges say. They're like, you're not seeing it up close.
That's why I was thinking that
you can't really see.
The details, because she had all these bones on hers, because Viserion's the ice dragon.
Right.
That's basically undead. And it looked like there were, like, a lot of bones, and she did a lot of stuff with the wings and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And maybe there's something more missing. But, yeah, I don't know. To me, that one felt a little...
Yeah.
It was just, okay. It looked a little wonky and a little off.
Yeah. So. Well, the needlework category was my favorite.
I'm saying, like, there were a lot of people in needlework that I think did a great job.
Should have won something.
And if Viserion, got second or third, I'm like, why did some of them get second or third, So
the one that did place from this category was she was cosplaying as Jane from Tarzan.
Yeah.
And it looked amazing.
She did a great job.
It was very realistic.
Super great, just like Jane when she gets off. Like Jane from the Disney cartoon version of Tarzan, right? Where she gets off the boat, she's all dressed in yellow and that classic look. And
she even has the hat, which was
an original refurbished. Yeah. Which that's not.
So, yeah, but I'm thinking because she had to refurbish it, and then she had to change its size to fit her head.
Right, she had to do some work, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was definitely super good. There were a couple other people in that category, though, where I'm like, man, they should have done well.
Right, exactly. Like, one of them being, Sansa Stark. There was somebody cosplaying as Sansa Stark, which I'm actually, like, following all these people now.
Yeah, in the Sansa Stark one, they told us, they were like, she made a wig from her own hair, right?
Which sounds really scary and intense.
She had red hair, and she, like, I don't know why she needed to do this, but I guess for everyday life, her hair couldn't be that long. I don't know. She grew it out, cut it, grew it out, cut it, and made a wig of Sansa Stark so that she could have a red wig.
Red-haired
really
wig.
Cool.
It's pretty damn cool.
That's some dedication. There were a couple others that were really good. One I'll comment on that was not so good in that category, and it's not because, well, we don't know. It was the Ursula one, where she was Vanessa, who is like Ursula's counterpart when she's on land, right?
Yeah, it's who she is when she's on land and not an octopus lady.
She walked out and immediately flipped her dress to Ursula, which was like, you could have walked halfway to the stage, twirled a little bit, and then done it.
Yeah, her body paint didn't look great either.
Yeah, it's like we just don't know whether her cosplay was actually good
I want to say, like, last year, too, there was somebody that did that, and they did it in a much better way, and there was somebody else last year that was cosplaying as Ursula, and her Ursula looked better. Yeah. So, I mean, that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that girl could probably pull off what she was going for. I think she was just nervous on stage, and that's why she released it too quick.
Yeah, that could have been it.
You know?
And that's 100% understandable. I mean, it just is sad for her.
Yeah, it's like, man, come on. Just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Another category.
I want to do one last one, and it was Winter Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. The one thing that I thought was the coolest was she had like a velvet cape on.
Sure, yeah.
And it had Jack Skellingtons in the cape that were individually put on the cape. She had to like burn them or etch them or embroider them.
I was gonna say that one didn't really like stand out to me.
I thought it looked so good. I thought it was amazing. Okay, effects. The coolest category.
Effects, which is like, the coolest category by far, because, something cool. Which a lot of the people in the armor and other categories had small effects. Some smoke or lights or whatever. But these were, like, more centered around their effects.
Yep.
There were a lot of cool ones.
Including our first place winner of the...
Yeah, the first place winner came from this category.
Yeah.
And I'll say, so some of them, like, were just not so polished. Which is the reason this one lady got first is hers was super polished.
Which is really funny because I have an anecdotal story about that because I went to the restroom during the Critical Role panel and the restroom was right across.
Do we know what she is yet? Like, go ahead and say what she is.
No. So she is cosplaying as Frostlich Jaina from World of Warcraft. Yes. So
she has the look down and
it looks great.
Her armor and all that stuff looks really
It looks beautiful. But this is like way earlier, like 12 hours before that this is happening and she's on stage. I go to the restroom I go to the restroom and she's in there and she's like in the mirror trying to fix herself up because the bathroom was right across from where they were judging. And I'm washing my hands and she takes some scissors to her wig and she just goes snip. And then she looks at the mirror and she goes, "Oh no."
Yeah.
But it looked great. Like you couldn't tell, and she fixed
and something like that. She fixed it,
fixed
figured out how to make it work. Yeah,
but she did good. I think that's a real like cosplayer's life. But she had
like lights,
fog coming out of her hands, and lights coming out of her stuff.
Coming out. You couldn't see any wires. The light was successfully diffused.
Yeah, and it was moving.
As well. Mm-hmm. And everything looked really good because some of the other people. So this is something I learned about LED lights, right? You got to diffuse the light, and you got to diffuse the light at an appropriate distance or through an appropriate
or else it's just it doesn't show the light, right?
Right, so it would look like a little LED instead of like a diffused like glowing crystal, right? It would look like a sharp LED than just glass on top of it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because like one of them, Thor. This is her first time cosplaying too, so that's where
it was a girl as Thor from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, and she did a great job. She had this cool effect that is the first time I've ever seen this effect. She wore white, kind of milky contacts, and she had light in her helmet that projected onto her eyes to make her eyes look like they were glowing with like the
blue, like light. when he
that was amazing.
Harnesses his lightning power.
But what I noticed on the back, she had the skull from one of the
Surtur.
Yeah, on her back, and it had a speaker built in it, and there were LEDs. You could see the individual LEDs. It wasn't diffused enough, and you could almost see some wiring from the speaker as well. Not as polished. So that's probably why she didn't do as well. Again, this is her first time.
But it was so cool,
and she, came up with that cool stuff and did those cool things. She'll do great stuff in the future.
Yeah. Well, and all this talk about cosplay is really getting us into the mood to.
Yeah, we love talking about doing cosplay.
And we never do it. But if we started working on cosplays, would you guys be interested in seeing our progress on our Patreon, or would you prefer like specific episodes dedicated to that or specific streams? Let us know. Contact us on social media and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's something that we're probably gonna really double down on this year, and at least do something easy. Like I always want to go big with the armors, which is probably why.
Yeah, Jesse. When I'm like, Jesse, who do you want to cosplay as? His first go is always Iron Man.
Yeah, it's the coolest one. But that could be the reason why we haven't gone successful.
I'm over here like I'll be Laura Croft or like
we need something easy, so we'll start
Jennifer
easy,
Geralt. I think that those are good kind of starters.
But that's kind of where we're gonna wrap with the podcast, though. We'll do our contest prompt.
Yeah, this is our last one, and it's gonna be kind of a big overarching kind of theme question. So the prompt for Jesse's Give-A-Palooza to win Kingdom Hearts 3 and a shirt, at least one.
Multiple winners.
Yep, multiple winners. This week's is, what do you want us, Co-op the Podcast, to cover in one of our episodes? What's a subject that you really want us to talk about? Do you want us to talk about your favorite anime that hopefully we watched?
We'll go watch it. Right?
We'll go watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
And we're going to dedicate a whole episode to whatever.
Yeah. But it could be Voltron or DC Comics or Marvel Comics,
DC Comics
versus Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, exactly. We're DC Family Comics. Harry Potter, we can talk about that. So you just have to let us know, and this gives us ideas for episodes, so we make you, the viewers, happy.
Yeah, and we'll give you a shout out in the episode too.
Exactly.
This idea came from so-and-so.
Exactly. So don't forget to send that to us through social media.
Yep, the rules for the contest are DM us your ideas Don't put it just on the chats. We're trying to get them DM'd on Twitter.
Yep.
Instagram, Facebook, wherever.
Yep, at Co-op the Podcast.
Yep.
And then also, if you leave us a review and then send us proof of it on your favorite podcasting host, we'll double your chances of winning. And this is your last chance. You have until March 31st, which is this Sunday, I believe,
That sounds about right.
to do that.
Yeah, and this is your last chance, but you still have the opportunity to go back and listen to the last 4 podcasts.
Yep, up
listen
until
to all of them,
episode 8. Yep.
Listen to those ones, get the prompts, and send us that information. You know, you can still enter on those last ones, but on March 31st, we're not taking any new, or, you know.
March
April
31st
1st.
is the last day.
Yeah, if you send it to us at midnight on
11:59. 11:59.
11:59 our time, Pacific time.
Yeah.
So watch out.
So, but besides that, you can follow us again on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Co-op the Podcast. We're very active there, posting links to the Umbrella Academy soundtrack on Spotify.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing I did.
That was today, yeah.
Yep, today.
Rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends. We need more viewers.
Yep. Visit our Patreon, patreon.com/co-op the podcast.
Yep, or visit us just on the website at co-oppodcast.com.
Yeah, we're going to start putting...
we're blogging.
Stuff. We're blogging as hell. We haven't yet, but we will. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Raven_co-op coop.
Or you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. I don't really respond much, but you can find me at JesseCO_OP. And maybe if I get a ton of followers and I just jump on one day and I see that people are engaging, I'll say, hey.
No, hey. No, so, I doubt it highly.
Watch, I'm just going to go on one day and have like 100,000 people and just be like, hey, I'll tweet once a year.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
So follow me. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Cool.
So, anyways, thanks for joining in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.